Oh Mazembe, 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 oh Mazembe.
On this edition of the TP Mazembe show, the defenders of the title are back in the Champions League final. We chat with the coach who made it happen and ask what's possible for Africa's super team. And construction of Mazembe's new home base is running smoothly. The show begins on a rather somber note this month as we look back at the funerals of a former TP Mazembe player who died while on loan to traditional rivals DC Motema Pembe and a fan who died after police opened fire on the crowd during a match against rivals AS Vita Club. The circumstances surrounding the death of the player, Chitenge Mukandila, remains a major mystery, but his teammates were on hand to pay their last respects as the Mazembe family filed into the church for the service. Mukandila was hailed by mourners as an incredibly talented footballer whose life did not reflect the vast qualities he had as a soccer player. The mourners, many of whom were at the match in which the Crows fan passed away, were still reeling with shock at the stadium tragedy, the likes of which are seen too regularly across Africa.
Regardez la voix, je ne sais comment exprimer ses sentiments. Vraiment, Mukandila est parti très tôt.
Il nous a laissé vraiment pendant qu'on avait besoin de lui. C'était un joueur qui était, c'est vrai, capricieux, mais sur le terrain, il était très remarquable.
Donc, ton âme repose en paix.
The Mazembe family can only express its deepest condolences to the families of those who suffered in the incident. May these kinds of tragedies never again mar the beautiful game on the continent of Africa. The governor and president shied away from the glare of the media at the somber funeral, but the Mazembe show would catch up with him days later, where he poured his heart out to the loved ones of the deceased.
Fortunately, you lost one player, you lost also one supporter after the game of Vita Club. You know, it's very sad to lose a player which was 25 years old boy. He played in Rwanda, he played in the national team, the parents came. He was not playing for Mazembe. Mazembe transferred him to Daring in Kinshasa, Motema Pembe, and he's the guy who scored a goal for qualification. I think God is there, he's going to help the family and he's going to take care about our player. I think he's gone to heaven.
By now, fans of the mighty Engelbert have become used to the face of the new man in charge at Mazembe. Former Senegalese national team coach Lamine Ndaye took over the reins at the African Super Club after the untimely departure of last year's Champions League winning mentor, French-born Italian Diego Garzito. The club had given Garzito the option of becoming technical director out of respect for the work he's done in bringing glory back to the perennial powerhouse, but the 53-year-old refused. The subsequent 3-0 loss to Tunisia's Esperance during the group phase of the African Champions League was the final straw.
Even the previous coach was a good coach. You have a problem on the defense. Yeah? And I told him to work with him, he didn't want. So he asked me to choose. I said, no, I'm paying. I didn't reduce his salary. I said, you work with your friend. Because technically this one is very good. And the other one was very good on physics to get the player very, very strong. So it's supposed to be a good combination. So I did myself what I did, and it was a risk to take a risk to change a coach. I said, anyway, if you are going to lose, you lose with this coach. You never chase our coach. He decided himself to go.
We sat down with the enigmatic character who once banged in the goals for clubs like Cannes and France and who also had a stint 2 years ago leading the Lions of Teranga. His CV most certainly an impressive one, having gone from player to coach at French outfit Melous.
Donc j'ai été conseiller technique régional, après j'ai entraîné le centre de formation de Mulhouse, puis l'équipe professionnelle de Mulhouse avant d'entamer une carrière en Afrique, au Cameroun, avec le Coton Sport de Garoua, avec qui j'ai gagné 7 titres, dont 2 doublés consécutivement. Ensuite, il y a eu une finale de Coupe d'Afrique. Ensuite, je suis parti au Sénégal comme coach adjoint en équipe nationale et coach principal la dernière année.
Like with most jobs, there'll be challenges to begin with.
Vous savez, en entraîneur, les problèmes, c'est des problèmes de jeu. Hein, c'est dans le jeu surtout, mais je pense que j'ai été, grosso modo, dans l'ensemble, j'ai été très bien accueilli. Et par les joueurs, et par les supporters, et par l'encadrement, et dont le président en tête, le président... Sinon, voilà, comme tous les entraîneurs, des problèmes de jeu, on cherche toujours à améliorer le collectif, parce que comme c'est un sport collectif, on cherche toujours à faire mieux que la dernière fois.
Despite reaching their second Champions League final in succession, it would not be far off the mark to say that TP Mazembe have not been as dominant both on the domestic and the international front like they were last season. Their captain Tresor Mputu and stalwart Basisila Lusadisu are both serving long-term suspensions handed down by FIFA, while several other players have been in and out of the team due to long-term injuries. One of those players who's been sorely missed due to a torn thigh muscle is Zambian Hichani Himonde, who tells us that he's on the verge of making a return to action.
I'm happy I've started training with the team, although I'm not playing this game against JS Kabiri, but I believe all will be great with the preparations, and I'm happy that I'm healed and soon I'll be, the next match I'll play, and I'm happy I was called for the national team despite my injury, and I think I'm happy now that I'm training with the team and all is fine with me.
Mazembe's shrewd president, however, has not folded his arms waiting for the end of suspensions or full injury recoveries. Instead, he's continued to recruit additional players to strengthen the team. One of those players he brought on board is young Zambian anchorman Rainford Kalaba, a player who used to be on the books of Portuguese side Braga.
Actually, I came here just to help the team, and we don't know the future. You know, I just have to keep focus and train hard. I don't know what comes tomorrow. I just have to be ready for the competition, because as a football player I have to understand the name of football, because football is all about competition and you have to fight for your position.
With the latest recruits, Mazembe can pride itself in really being a true Pan-African team with players brought in from most of the DRC's neighboring countries. It's also fast becoming a haven for Zambia's finest talent.
I think it's good, and having more players from Zambia is like home here again in Congo, and it's not a big difference because Renford, Kalililo, I was with them at the national team, so it's like a family again here, and I believe they'll create competition in here because they're good players, and they're good players at TP Mazembe. So for you to get a position, you have to fight, and I think they'll create competition in the team as well.
From players making their comeback to what's in store when we come back from the break. Mazembe faced a tough month of competition. Would they get to the finals of the Champions League once more? That's what we have in store for you.